I think this might be a good move for the New York Jets for a partial 1 or 2 year deal. Any more than that, I think you're reaching. I like Justin Fields, and I don't know if Aaron Glenn is going to be able to develop him. We saw that Mike Tomlin just decided to part ways with him when they were 4-1, 4-2. They had a winning record, and they decided after they figured things out with Justin Fields and he was building his connection with George Pickens, after Russell Wilson got healthy, hey, we can win better. We have a better chance of winning right now with Russell Wilson. And I'm not arguing that maybe Mike Tomlin believed that. I just think that Justin Fields deserved an optional chance to try to take this team to the promised land. And maybe they play better in the first round if they had Justin Fields. Russell Wilson, to me, is washed up. He doesn't have the legs he used to have in Seattle. He does have a good arm still, but I think he had a lot of problems, especially making his reads. Justin Fields didn't really have to make his reads. His strength was using his legs. And I think that's what the Jets are going to want to do. They're going to want to run. Aaron Glenn believes in the Bill Parcells way. What did Bill Parcells like to do? He liked running the ball. Go look at the running backs he used to have. It definitely was the old-time football that Aaron Glenn, I believe, is going to use, as a lot of the ex-Jets coaches wanted to use. As you can ask Sexy Rexy what he wanted to do. He wanted to run, then throw. And yes, can you win that way? Yeah, if you make the playoffs, if you are a good running team and you're a great defense and you have a good offensive line, you can win. Now, I think the Jets are a little bit away from calling themselves a contender, but the Jets need the right guy in place. Now, if Aaron Glenn's the right guy and he can develop Justin Fields over there, then the Jets have a quarterback for 3 years for the cheap. And if they can develop him and turn him into a guy that's going to give you, I would say, as the first 5 years of a Lamar Jackson, a guy that can probably throw for 3,200 yards, 3,300 yards, and give you 700 or 800 yards running and 19 touchdowns throwing and about 7-8 touchdowns running, I think you can be successful that way. Now, I don't know if he's going to be that type of player. He doesn't have the arm strength. Well, I think he has the arm strength. I don't think he has the accuracy that Lamar Jackson has had, but I do think he has the ability to make the plays, especially in an AFC East that's very wide open. But I understand the situation the Jets are in. Are the Jets willing to trade up at 7 to 1 to go after Cam Ward? Now, I've heard stories that they're very intrigued with that. And a guy like Aaron Glenn might make and want to pull a trigger like that to get a quarterback of the future that way. But we've seen what the Jets have done over the years. They have failed to bring the right young guy in. Let's go down and out from it. I remember Browning Nagel. Was he the right guy? How about Christian Hackenberg, which they brought in the second round? Was he the right guy? Geno Smith, which they brought in the second round. Was he the right guy? Mark Sanchez, who a lot of teams, including Pete Carroll coming out, his own coach in college, saying that he needed to stay in college for one more year. Was he the right guy after trading up with the Browns to get him at 5? No, he wasn't. Then Sam Darnold. Was he the right guy? He's done well with Minnesota, but not very well with the Jets. Probably the more exceptional one out of all the quarterbacks that have played for the Jets as far as rookies are concerned. And then the great Zach Wilson. What a failure that was. Probably the worst of all of them. So, that's just a few of them. I can go down the whole line if you really want me to as a Jet fan. It hasn't looked good. It hasn't been good. But I think that if you believe what you have seen on tape, that you can win with a guy like Cam Ward, who reminds me a lot like Jaden Daniels. He does. Reminds me a lot like him. And he said the same thing Jaden Daniels said. He said that if anybody passes up on me in the draft, they're going to regret it. Boy, oh boy, did he not prove that? He took his team all the way in his rookie season to the NFC title game to lose against the future, now Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. So we understand the situation for what it is. Now, I'm not saying Cam Ward has Jaden Daniels, accuracy or arm strength. I don't know. He has said to have the best arm in this class. He's also said to probably be one of the faster quarterbacks we've seen to come out of a draft class this week, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. So I'm interested to see what Cam Ward turns out to be, but I've seen enough with him with Miami. I also watched him a little bit in Washington. I seen what he can do on the big stage, and he had record-breaking numbers this past year. So if you see all that, and I met him at the Heisman Trophy dinner and at the awards, I thought he was a very nice kid, and I think he would fit here in New York because his calm and his collective decision-making and his personality. I think it's a slam dunk for the Giants. And I'm going to tell you this right now, for all you Jet fans and all you Giant fans, if the Giants and the Jets pass up on this kid and decide I'm going to tell you this right now, Tennessee is not drafting him. Tennessee is not drafting him. I can tell you that. You can book this, ladies and gentlemen. Cam, they're either going to trade out of that pick, trade down 2 spots and still get Carter, or they're going to trade for the best bidder. Teams like the Raiders, the Jets, one of these teams are going to bite. The Jets are going to have to give up 3 first rounds and probably 2/3 to get him. If they slam dunk this, baby, if one of these teams slam dunk this and get Cam Ward, I think they have the quarterback of the future. I think he's by far the best quarterback in this class.